All right, Cuban sandwich review number 2 coming up shortly. Right now I'm walking into a spot called Depot Park in Gainesville, Florida. Really cool spot to bring the kids. Big playground back there. They got a little fountain and a lake, all kind of little stuff to do. There's a little hidden sandwich shop within Depot Park. I think they call it Parkside Subs and Shoppe or something along those lines. And they have a little Cuban sandwich on their menu. So I'm gonna go in there and scoop one up. I'm gonna cruise home and I'll do the review. All right, as mentioned, today's review is Parkside Subs and Shoppe. So it's a little hidden gym in Depot Park in Gainesville, which is in a way in itself a hidden gym as well. So they have a little menu here for their sub shop, and they have a whole section for pressed sandwiches, which I can appreciate. So interesting one here is they label this one as the Tampa Cuban. So I mentioned in review number 1, sometimes in Tampa they put the mayonnaise on, Miami they typically don't. But the more important, I guess, differentiation between the Tampa and Miami Cuban is salami. So this one has the normal roasted pork, ham, Swiss cheese, pickles, mustard, but then there's also some salami thrown on there. But it is interesting that they included the word Tampa on the label, because if you are feeling strong about salami being on there, maybe just call it the Cuban. But anyways, I like the differentiation. Here's how it came. Very interesting. I like the, I don't know if you'd call this wax paper or what you would call it, but I like the wrap. It didn't come in a bag. Felt kind of weird walking out of Depot Park just holding this thing. Maybe a few $100 bills could be in here, who knows. But I like how it looks. It feels good. It feels like it's got a really good press. I don't know if you can see how thin this is compared to my hands there. I typically like that. Again, Parkside Subs and Shoppe. Let's dive into it. It's not, to lead with it, it's not like a Cuban shop or anything like that. So I'm interested to see kind of how this goes. All right, let me pull it out of the paper here. First of all, it's got the diagonal cut. If you watched review number 1, key. See the diagonal cut? That's how a Cuban sandwich should be cut, in my opinion. So take note of that. Also looks really good. You can see the thinness on there, you know, when you compare it to my hands again, but this looks really good press. The pork is different on this one. It basically just looks like some kind of, I guess I'll use the term lunch meat type pork, just slices of pork. So some places will get slices of pork, some will do a roasted pork, and typically if you do like the No Kidding roasted porks, you know, a lot of times that'll fall apart as you put it on, so it won't really come out like this, these slices. So it does say roasted pork on the menu. We'll see how this goes. I forgot to mention, I do want to point this out. If you saw on the menu, a big draw to this one is they get, no kidding, legitimate Cuban bread from La Segunda in Tampa / Ybor City, Florida, which if you're from Florida, you've probably heard of it. If not, it's maybe the most famous place to get a Cuban sandwich, and maybe the most famous place to get actual Cuban bread. So that's very interesting that this is a very small place that doesn't even focus specifically on Cuban sandwiches, gets their bread from La Segunda. So very impressive. That could be a big draw. I'm trying not to let it influence my thought before I take a bite. And before I do take a bite, also again, you can see my shirt here, the Cuban sandwich shirt. I'll be rocking this every review. Deli Fresh Threads out of Orlando provided this. They have some really good shirts on there. If you're not a Cuban sandwich fan, I'm sure you're a fan of other type of sandwiches. So go check them out, Deli Fresh Threads. They have some really interesting and clever stuff online. So, all right, here we go. So I'm gonna take a couple bites here, update you as I go, but I'll give you overall review when I'm done. First bite, good. A lot of bread in that one, not in a bad way. That's how the cut goes. The bread is delicious. They really did a good job pressing this one. You will see a theme as I review. I love the press so much. It really kind of puts a little, almost a grill on that cheese and connects it to the bread. Really good. Not as much as some other Cuban sandwiches you'll see as far as ingredients, but that's not a bad thing. I like my Cuban sandwiches typically pretty thin like this one. So let's see, let's keep going. Again, the bread is outstanding. I can see now why they focus on getting it from there. It's really, really good. It's a little flaky in a good way. So again, I got a little flake in my throat. Let me take a sip here. So far, this is really tasty, really enjoyable. Yeah, good flavor. Again, the pork isn't quite the same as if you have that like shredded roasted pork, if you will, but still good flavor. So far the best part to me about the sandwich is the press and the bread. Good combo there. All right. I also like how you don't even notice the salami really. I'm actually even looking for it on the sandwich, so it doesn't stand out as far as tasting it and taking away if you're used to a non-salami Cuban sandwich. So that's good. It's a good sandwich. If I was just judging the bread and the skill of press by the gentleman who made this for me today, it would be a very, very high score. Overall sandwich, since I started off with an 8.1, I think the other sandwich that I tried in review number 1 from Flacco's, the ingredients were a little better. This one does have a better crisp to it, a better press. Flacco's was 8.1. I'm gonna give Parkside Subs and Shoppe, this Cuban sandwich, I'm gonna give this a 7.2. If you've never had a Cuban sandwich, it would be a good spot to start. This is legit, even though it doesn't have quite that, like I said, shredded roasted pork type feel to it. But the bread more than makes up for that. It's light, it's crispy. They did the correct cut, pressing again, great. It feels like almost refreshing to eat. I'm probably gonna eat this whole thing. So yeah, 7.2, Parkside Subs and Shoppe. Again, it's hidden in Depot Park in Gainesville, Florida. It's very weird that they have a Cuban on the menu, which is a good thing. And I said, if I come across a Cuban, I'm gonna try it and review it. So Parkside Sub and Shoppe, 7.2, very good bread, good crisp. If you are introing yourself to a Cuban sandwich, definitely worth a try. So I think that's a good review for them. And I don't know what the next stop will be, but I don't know, 2 pretty high scores already. So appreciate you watching. Go get yourself a Cuban. Delicious.